The city of Flagstaff makes an effort to maintain and enhance the quality of life for all its residents. However, sometimes Native American residents feel that changes come at the expense of their culture and beliefs. The latest example is the sale of reclaimed water to make snow at the Arizona Snow Bowl. This issue seems to have divided Flagstaff communities into two camps: cultural and environmental concerns versus economic gains. The question to you is, considering the cultural and environmental sensitivity of this matter, where do you stand on the issue of the city of Flagstaff selling reclaimed water to the Arizona Snow Bowl for snowmaking?
The way I was trying to approach this particular issue in this question, I think it's a very good one, is how do we as a community respond to our diverse community? How do we bring people together rather than separate them? In the initial statement here, it says into two camps, cultural and environmental versus economic gain. I think what I have to do as a policymaker is look at what's best for, number one, Flagstaff, because those are the folks that have elected me, but also how can we work together with everybody else out there? You know, this planet isn't getting any bigger, and there's a lot more people here, and we all have to live together. Living together, I think we all have to share something. So when we went and had the issue first came up, I voted on the information that I had at hand, and that information at hand enabled me to vote to support the Snow Bowl and do reclaimed water. We made a contract that's now in the courts. We live in a land of laws, and the courts will eventually at this point decide whether or not the city will be able to do that. But I'm a man of my word. If I tell somebody I'm going to do something and make a contract with those people, I'm going to go ahead and follow through.
On snowmaking, I'm against that. I think that just the environmental ramifications are so far-reaching that we don't even know where to begin with that. Also, everyone says it's reclaimed water, but if the reclaimed water wasn't being used for snowmaking, it would actually go back into the Rio de Flag and filter back down into the aquifer. Also, I think the economic reasons for doing this, just seem to fall apart. I think this plan will help one business, or maybe two businesses, snowball basically. Most of the studies have shown that a lot of the skiing is actually day people who come up here in the morning, leave out at night. Also in Aspen, Colorado and in Vail, Colorado, where they do make snow, the average wage is less than $1 more than it is here in Flagstaff. And they have property values so high that they make us look like Cheapsville. So I definitely am against snowmaking, so that's my opinion on that. Thank you.
We had a lot of discussion on this, and we went through all the commissions within the city of Flagstaff should go through, went before city council, and the decision was made to sell A+ reclaimed water to the Snow Bowl. I support it. My community supports it. I was elected to support the majority of my community, and if we went to a vote, I suggested to people, the way to do it is put on an initiative. If you want to change it, is put it on an initiative, put it on a ballot, and see how it comes out. And my thought is that it would pass, that the sale of reclaimed water to Snow Bowl would stay constant. There's other ways of doing it too, and we'll see how those pan out. There's some discussion about what to do with the Snow Bowl with some of the key players, and it's up to key players to come to some major decisions about how the snowmaking and the Arizona Snow Bowl is going to go forward. And for myself, I don't want to make comments about it since it's in court. It's not right to make comments, as far as I'm concerned, as an elected official, on something that's before the courts. And we'll see what happens in the courts.
Since I first heard about the contract to sell reclaimed water to the Snow Bowl for snowmaking, I've been opposed to it. When I was on the City Council from 1994 to 98, we had a policy of not selling water outside the city limits. And I thought it was a prudent, conservative policy not to extend our water lines outside the city. But also it's clear to me that the use of reclaimed water for snowmaking is offensive to Native American people. And I think our relationships with Native American people are more important than snowmaking. I know that there's widespread opposition to the snowmaking among the tribes by using reclaimed water, and I respect that. Our community character and economy are too dependent on Native American neighbors to knowingly do something so offensive to them. And the more I learn about the issue, the more clear it becomes to me. I recently read an essay by Dr. Loma Ishii entitled San Francisco Peaks, A Matter of Perspectives and Truths. And he described what the peaks mean to his culture and the oral traditions, even aside from the religious meaning. He said they represent peace, happiness, and sustenance. And he also talked about the interconnectedness of things where 1% of the peaks, 1% of the peaks, it can't be separated from the other 99% of the peaks. It's been a bit scary opposing reclaimed water because it's an unpopular position with some of the powers that be, like the Chamber of Commerce and the home builders. And I might lose some votes over it and maybe even a few friends. But I think it's more important to respect and at least try to understand how people's relationship to the peaks is part of their identity.
Had the reaction from our Native American friends been before that or during that, we probably would have taken another look at it. But by that time, we had already signed a contract. The contract is binding, and unless the courts overturn it, then that's the only out that we have.
At this point, I have been on the record of saying I do agree with the sale of the reclaimed water. I think that it's a difficult one to come by, and I was not in the discussions that this council was in terms of the entire scope of the project. And again, I applaud them for looking at what they've had to deal with. But I hope it does not continue to divide the community, and we can come to a consensus of agreement at one point or another in respect to all and everybody in the city of Flagstaff.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
You know, things has been going so well for the candidates and everything, and to do something like this is totally uncalled for.